What's up, guys? I'm back with another movie review. Today I'm here to talk to you about Outbreak. So this is a really high-profile, really popular movie, but I watched it again recently and figured I'd just throw up a quick video talking about it. The story begins in an small African village where a virus has run rampant. They can't figure out how to stop it. It's extremely contagious. They can't contain it. They don't have a cure for it. And with no other real options, they just wipe the place out. That way, it can't spread any further. It's a horrific situation, but that's what happens. What they don't know is that a little monkey manages to escape, and he's infected with the virus. He's picked up by exotic animal dealers, brought to the United States, and he has the virus. It's extremely contagious, and it starts to spread immediately. It pretty much takes over the entire town, just like it did in the African village. The government wants to, already quarantined it, and is wanting to perhaps take a similar approach that they did in Africa and just wipe out the town to contain it. However, there's a virologist played by Dustin Hoffman who is there, and he's down on the ground disobeying every order to try to find the source of it. And if he can find the source of it, he thinks he can find the cure. Donald Sutherland plays the self-interested villain, and they have a really interesting dynamic. I love the scenes that Dustin Hoffman and Donald Sutherland share. But that's the basic premise here. He's got to find the cure in time, or a bunch of people are going to die, and terrible things happen. So this is a really solid thriller. I think it definitely helped kick off a bunch of pandemic thrillers that would follow. The only issues I really have with it is just that the pace is a little slow sometimes, and it's a little dragged out. But honestly, that's not a real problem because the tension is so good. The narrative is great. I appreciate the fact that it's kind of grounded and a little bit more believable, although it does go kind of off the rails in a couple spots, like the movie theater scene is pretty over the top, but it's okay because it at least gives that little juice of tension and kinetic suspense, which is nice. The rest of the time is pretty grounded in fairly authentic. It's obviously not going to be exactly perfectly realistic with the science behind it, because it is a movie that's built around tension and suspense, and keeping you entertained. But I think it does a solid job of being believable. The cast is absolutely insane. Dustin Hoffman, Morgan Freeman, Rene Russo, Patrick Dempsey. It's a Cuba Gooding Jr., Kevin Spacey. There's a bunch of people in here, and while Dustin Hoffman and Donald Sutherland have the lead roles, everybody gets a good chance to shine. And another reason that I like this movie is because all of the side threads that let the supporting characters kind of have their moment in the spotlight, they're all extremely relevant to the bigger picture narrative. So it's not like, some movies just throw in a scene and they're like, hey, here's this recognizable star for little to no reason. But in this movie, all of those side threads really have meaning. They play into the bigger picture, and they're really well done. So I appreciate that. But the main cast, to me, the best part of the cast, I should say, is Dustin Hoffman and Donald Sutherland. They have a very black and white relationship of hero and villain. It's played up a little bit, but it's still, it still doesn't go completely over the top, so it's believable. I think any scenes where they have interactions are really great, and some of my favorite in the movie. I like how Dustin Hoffman is able to play this kind of heroic figure without, again, going over the top. And the same for Sutherland, although Sutherland does dial up his villainy a little bit. But it's really fun to watch. I really like this movie. I think it's a really effective thriller. I think it's held up really well. And while some other kind of high-profile pandemic movies have come out since, I think this one still holds up really well and is definitely worth a watch. If you've seen it, check it out again. I think it's definitely one that holds up to be seen more than once. And if you haven't seen it, check it out. It's worth it for the story and the cast alone. But there's just a lot of really fun moments in this. And who doesn't love the little Outbreak monkey? He's like a pop culture icon at this point. So that's my review of Outbreak. If you want to read my full review, you can go to markfusion.com. There's also well over 1,000 movie reviews there that you can check out of all varieties. I guess I do have a pretty good amount of pandemic movies there, or medical horror, I should say. But anyway, you can also follow me on Instagram, Twitter, and Twitch. You can go to Letterboxd, where I diary everything that I'm watching, and you get an idea of what might be coming here soon, make recommendations. Say you want to see something, immediately. You can make demands there, I guess. But the main things you do to help me out are just to watch the videos. You can go through the playlist. There's hundreds and hundreds and hundreds of movie reviews in there. So, if something catches your eye, just check them out, and maybe you'll fall down a rabbit hole of crazy movie reviews. And the other thing you do, obviously, is just to drop me a sub. It's a free, easy, direct way to support me, help me to keep making these videos, keep watching these movies. But thank you so much for watching this video for Outbreak. I do greatly appreciate it. Hopefully, I'll see you guys soon.